Welcome to the Global Resilience Exchange channel. My name is Daniela and I'm at DRJ Fall 2025, where the theme is Building Resilience Through Innovation. And I have the pleasure of sitting with Jason today. I'm so excited. He was a speaker yesterday and he did amazing. And now he has, graced us with his time to be able to do this quick interview. So Jason, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's great being here.
Excellent. Thank you. So we'll jump right into it because the conference is going right now. So Jason, when you think about resilience in your industry, how do you see innovation playing a role in strengthening it? And let the folks know what industry you're in.
Yeah, so I'm in financial services. So when I think about innovation and financial services and how innovation is strengthening financial services, I look at it really in two buckets. One is it helps strengthen the protection of the network systems that we use for financial services. And I think secondly, it actually is going to help us be more resilient in delivering financial services in the future. So for example, for an AI perspective, we're using AI to identify threats and malicious behaviors on network systems. And a lot of the security vendors use it, so it helps their clients all leverage their learnings and what they're seeing on their networks to further strengthen the environment. And then from a financial services perspective, as we move towards a tokenized financial market, that will actually help alleviate some of the pain points that we see in financial services, as well as build in some resiliency into the financial markets.
I like resilience in my financial market for sure.
I think we all do.
So what challenges do you see organizations facing in adopting these innovative solutions for resilience?
So I would say one of the biggest challenges that I think firms face is when we try to use innovation to solve a problem that doesn't need to be solved.
That part.
Yes. And it's hard to rally and galvanize individuals to work on something that already works well. I think a better and an easier approach to innovation is finding a place where innovation can help alleviate a pain point, and then focus on communicating to those who need to buy in why this innovative solution will resolve that pain point, and then start bringing in other stakeholders into the mix. And then if you have regulatory approvals that are needed, the earlier the better for getting those regulators involved, because they need to be able to grow up with the technology too. So bringing them in so that they can learn how you're approaching a solution and building a solution will only be beneficial for you in the long run.
Totally makes sense. Play well in the sandbox with your regulators, right?
Yes, yes, because they will ultimately decide whether or not you are actually able to implement that solution, especially in financial services.
That makes a lot of sense. What does building a resilient future mean to you in your current role, in your current sector?
So I think it's two things. The first is, the first thing we want to do in financial services is protect the safety and you'll hear protect the safety and soundness of the financial markets. And so anything that we do from a resilience standpoint has to do that. And then the second thing is, I think we're on the cusp of the next generation of the financial markets. So we've had numerous evolutions of the financial markets over the 50 years. We used to close the financial markets 50 years ago on Fridays so that you could do all the clearing and settlement of the markets. So we went from that to a written ledger to an electronic ledger, and now going from an electronic ledger to a programmable ledger like blockchain or other DLT technologies. That's going to be the next step. And so, and that's going to build a lot of resilience within the financial markets. So how are we going to actually get there and do that? It's something we're working on now. And then from a safety and soundness, it's going to be the continued partnership between the public and private sector
Okay.
to work together to develop solutions. So, what are we doing as financial institutions? How can we better partner with our government partners to understand what the threats are? And how do we best work together to protect ourselves from these nefarious actors who are looking to disrupt the financial markets and to take money out and assets out of the financial system?
And they are nefarious, and they are ruthless.
Yes, and they are persistent.
That is so true. That is so true. What's one lesson from your work that others could apply to help in their own organizations?
Yeah, so it's funny. I I've been in resilience for quite some time. Well, I started in technology, and then I moved from technology into cyber, and then cyber into resilience. So I had the benefit of getting in early. And one thing that I have learned uh, from the resilience journey is that the devil's in the details.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to be detail oriented to be successful, because we can put up pretty charts and pretty graphs and
All the
all of the
dashboards.
dashboards in the world, but then when the rubber hits the road, what what are the things that actually need to get done in order to be resilient? And again, that's going to be bigger than, hey, I have all my BIAs and TIAs and all, or my process maps. It's actually going to be about execution. And so when it comes to execution in anything, uh, precision is key. And so how are we going to actually be precise? And so that's the thing that I have learned as a lesson in this resilience journey.
I think that's really important because you'll see a lot of people who go for the low hanging fruit, as they call it, but
Yep,
at some point you got to go up higher on that tree, or you got to go deeper into that orchard. So
absolutely. I mean, look,
that's the difference between a strong resilient professional and just a resilience professional, I think.
yeah, and then look, I'm not, you have to start somewhere, and
Hmm.
the low hanging fruit is usually like people get quick wins, but you got to build on that momentum. You can't
Exactly.
just say, okay, we got all of those quick things done, and then nobody is like wants to take that next step because they want to relish in the wins.
Hmm.
You have to be able to move forward and use the low hanging fruit as momentum to get to where you need to be.
I appreciate that. So, do you have any other advice that you would give future resilience professionals? I know the devil's in the
Wow.
details, but if is there any other tidbits you can add? Any other gems we could polish?
So I would say for new resilience professionals, it's the same thing I tell most professionals, is that you have to actually stay hungry
Mm-hmm.
and hungry for learning. If you feel like you're in a role and there's nothing else to learn, that means you've probably outgrown that role
I agree.
and you need to be looking to do something more. And I'm not just talking about learning as it pertains to, you know, resilience or cyber or any other field. I'm also talking about learning the business that you're in, because you can learn all the concepts, but then how do you apply those concepts into the industry that you're in?
Yeah.
And the business individuals that you will have to work with will have some comfort if they know you have a level of understanding of that business. So don't just sit there and learn all you can about operational resilience or cyber or business continuity or disaster recovery, crisis management. Also learn that business. How does that, what's generating revenue within your organization? How does your organization fit within the larger ecosystem of your sector? How can you better partner together with your other sector members to improve not only the sector but your own institution or company or organization? So always be looking for those ways to improve or enhance your knowledge.
I appreciate it. I think that that's a great, great, great thought because as a resilience professional, if I'm doing business continuity, it's to continue the business. But if I don't know the business, how well can I actually do? So
Yeah.
love that. Thank you, Jason. One more question for you. What makes you feel valued as a resilience professional?
Wow. I think what I will say to that is, so I started off in technology and IT, then I moved to cybersecurity, then I moved to cyber risk management, and then I moved into public policy. And so I think that view has given me a breadth of experience within not only knowing how the implementation of the solutions works, but also understanding the rules and how financial authorities are looking at particular solutions. And so I have a unique perspective on resilience and resilience strategy and what is going to be necessary to be successful. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have to offer to the sector as it pertains to resilience.
And I mean, I attended your presentation yesterday, so I know you are definitely adding value to the greater body. So I appreciate that. Do me a favor, let the folks know what your website is, how they can get in contact with you. You have your own business, so
Yes, so Jason Harrell, JAH Secure Solutions LLC. You can actually reach me on therealjasonharrell.com. That's HARRELL. And you can go there if you're looking for someone who is a operational resilience strategist, and you can find me there and contact me there.
excellent. And I'm going to put you on the spot. Since we're at DRJ Fall, can you give me one or maybe two words that describes your experience at DRJ Fall?
Oh, absolutely. So this is actually my first time at a DRJ conference. So all of this has been really new to me. And the first thing I will say is, um, I guess the word I would use is welcoming. Uh, you know, I've been here 2 days, and already, the network of people who I've actually got a established a connection with, whether we were prior to that, met on Zoom, and now everybody's
Yeah,
actually here, and
yeah.
you get to meet people in person, and you feel the warmth and the community, and so that has been really big for me. And then I would say second to that is just you know um, uh, the ability to get knowledge. There's so many different industries here,
Definitely.
so you get to see how different industries approach resilience, and you can get some nuggets from that. And so I found that to be very. I would say those are the two things that I would take away from my experience here.
Excellent. Well, Jason, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you all for tuning in. If you like what Jason had to say, please give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe so you can hear more conversations like this with real resilience professionals from all over, all different industries, all different sectors. Thank you for tuning in.